Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lime Zombie YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at 8 more strategies that can help you have a better chance of winning when you play Mauritania Rush. Let's get started. Coming in at number 8, we have an amazing spot for the Recon Spawn Beacon, which can be found at Stage 2, Point B. As many of you are aware, this point is within a warehouse, and it is often easy to defend. However, if the enemies are smart and they blow open all the walls on the warehouse, you have much less cover, which makes it more likely that you will get killed. So by placing a spawn beacon, you can easily spawn and get straight back into the fight, providing much more support for the point and helping defend it. So hopefully you can win and stop the enemy's advance at Stage 2. Coming in at number 7, we have a C4 strategy for Stage 1. This is a defensive strategy, and all you have to do is select Assault, which allows you to use C4, and then throw it over the Rocky Mountains to take out enemies while they're in those tough-to-reach positions. This works great thanks to the C4's large explosion radius, which is really great at taking out single enemies or even groups of enemies. You can also use this strategy to take out enemies hiding behind the walls, which is another common place enemies like to hide on Stage 1. You see this in a later clip. It works great for killing enemies both on the mountain and behind the walls. So make sure you try this out the next time you play Stage 1 on defense. Coming in at number 6, we have a defensive truck strategy for Stage 3. For this, you can either steal the enemy truck by waiting for it to spawn and then stealing it and bringing it up to the mountain, or you can take an abandoned enemy truck, which happens often once enemies arrive at Stage 3. From there, it is great at clearing out enemies in this huge point of view, which makes it very difficult for the enemies to plant at Point B, and it can also work really good for halting their advance to Point A in some cases. Coming in at number 5, we have a defusal denial strategy for Stage 2 Point B, and this one utilizes the little bird. All you have to do for this is hover the little bird so you can easily look in at Point B, and then when an enemy goes to defuse, kill the enemy. Now, there will be people in the comments saying that it'll be super easy to kill the heli, and that is true. However, nobody will be focusing on the heli, they'll be focusing on trying to defuse it, and it'll take them a while to realize that they can't defuse B until they kill me, and by that time the bomb is already blown up and my heli's back up in the air. So it is a great way to utilize the little bird to make sure that the bomb in this very hard to attack point gets blown up, because as many of you know, this is one of the hardest points to attack on Mauritania. Coming in at number 4, we have another strategy for Stage 2 on attack, where you blow open as many walls as possible from the warehouse. That makes it much easier to see inside. You get 3 benefits from doing this. The first benefit is you get a ton of kills when you first blow open those walls. Nobody expects it, and everybody camping up on those rafters and in the corners, on the boxes, they die if you place the C4 correctly. The second reason is your team can push in there far easier if all those walls are blown open. It allows your team to get the plant off, and it makes it much harder for the enemies to get the defuse off. Thirdly, as someone who loves to fly the little bird on this stage, I love to look into the site and help with killing the enemies. I can only do this though if the walls are blown up. So when you're first attacking this stage, the best thing you can possibly do is blow up in as many walls on that warehouse as soon as possible. It can make attacking that site far easier, and I highly recommend that. Coming in at number 3, we have a defusal denial spot for Stage 3 Point A. For this, all you're going to do is take the cargo heli and either bring it up to the top of the excavator and have somebody park it on the top, which was shown in my last Mauritania strategy video. But if nobody's really wanting to do that, you can just abandon the cargo heli, have everybody jump out, and spread all around the excavator. What I like to do is get in this specific part of the excavator support beams, and then you can easily see down. From there, it's an easy 3-step process that involves clearing out as many enemies as possible that are around Point A, then send one person down to plant, and finally everybody else makes sure that no enemies are able to defuse Point A while the timer is going. Coming in at number 2, we have a speed plant strategy for Stage 1 Point A. This is something many of you have probably seen before, and it works great for getting a quick plant. All you have to do is get on an ATV the moment the game starts. You're then going to want to go straight on this path towards point A. Once you get over there, get the plant off as quick as possible. There are strategies to counter this, like throwing C4 over the wall, which is something I do whenever I'm on defense and I'm facing this strategy. But for the most part, this has about a 95% success rate for me and my squad. So I highly recommend trying it out the next time you start a Mauritania match on attack. Coming in at number 1, we have a stage 4 mortar tank strategy. This is one that is very common nowadays in Mauritania, but it didn't used to be like that. My squad was one of the first, if not the first, to decide to put the tank up on this hill, and it worked really well because you are able to see directly into point A, and if you blow up all the tents around point B, you can see into point B. You have to hit very precisely, but it is possible to kill anybody defusing on both sites. So if you are able to double this with the speed plant strategy where you go straight into A, which will be featured in my next strategy video, then you have a very good chance of winning. Now, some counters to this, as I am sure some of you have faced this and gotten pretty upset about it because it is very difficult to kill it with RPGs. That is where I suggest that you steal an ATV or truck, put C4 on the front, and go ATV bomb it. You gotta try different things. Maybe you could even push up closer behind the mountains and then jump out and start hitting it with rockets. At the very least, it will distract it from bombing your base, which could allow your team to get the defuse off, and it would also allow your team to start spawning again and repopulating the area. So, I highly recommend using it the next time you make it to stage 4 while on attack. So there it is. Those are 8 more strategies that you can use whenever playing on Mauritania Rush. They are some of my favorites, and I hope you find at least one of them useful the next time you're on this map. Now, before I log off, remember, be as creative as possible when playing this mode because there are so many different things that you can do to help your team win. Think outside the box, just like I do when I come up with these. And secondly, teamwork is crucial to winning this game, especially on Rush. Make sure that you try and work together as a squad, or even work together as a whole team, like maybe loading up an entire cargo heli and dropping it into a point. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.